Deters the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. The drum beat and guitar riff in the middle of Shoot the Thrill is classic. Boom, 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 boom. AC/DC. I think the women that were posing for those photographs that they sent me were listening to AC/DC. By the way, I will share this with you. One was holding a cigarette. Thought that was interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, as we close out today's show, and I want you to stick around and listen to Laura Ingram's Radio Addiction, followed by the Savage Nation, followed by Dennis Miller, followed by the other guys. Great radio programming right here. I want to just talk a little bit about basketball. The college tournaments began yesterday, and they're going to continue today all the way through selection night Sunday at 6 p.m. CBS. And these, of course, are the conference tournaments that are being played out all across the country to decide who is going to make it to the NCAA Big Tournament, where they will be seated, and, of course, basically leads to where they're going to end up geographically and whether they got a better chance or not to win. The University of Kentucky Wildcats will no doubt, if they win this tournament, which I predict that they will, even if they lose in the finals, they're probably going to get a number one seed overall. Now, last time they did that, they were given probably the third or fourth best team in the country, West Virginia, to play. That was when Wall and Cousins were there. And they lost in the grade 8, or however you want to call it. They just had a bad shooting night. But that's not why I want to bring up the NCAA tournament. I want to bring up the NCAA tournament as a metaphor for life for you and me. You know, in this politically correct age where everybody gets a trophy, everybody gets a ribbon, you know, everybody is entitled to be taken care of no matter what. There is nothing, absolutely nothing, more competitive, more real than one and done. And you know what? If it was 2 and out, like those softball tournaments, if it was 2 and out, it wouldn't have the same drama, would it? The NCAA basketball tournament, without any question, is the greatest sporting event in America every year. It covers an entire month. It doesn't cover just a day like the Super Bowl, which is the single biggest sporting event as a day. But the NCAA tournament really begins with the conference tournaments. It's March Madness because it is madness. And if you win, you play again. And if you lose, you're out. And you know what, folks? That's the way life is, isn't it? And if it's not that way, it's the way it should be. Now, another thing that I'd like to point out relative to this tournament as a metaphor is fairness. You expect it to be fair because these teams are playing on neutral courts. You expect the referees to be fair. And don't you expect both teams to show good sportsmanship as they struggle to win the game? Absolutely. And when something is done that's unfair, that costs a team a victory, a bad call, a bad no call, so forth and so on, it really is tragic. I always crack up for the people that go to these sporting events and they get mad at the parents, the fans, and the coaches for getting upset. You know what, folks? Sometimes they deserve to be upset. If your program misses out on a Final Four, a Final Eight, a Sweet 16 appearance, and all that comes with it because some jackwagon referee or some jackwagon mistake, by golly, you deserve to be mad. So as the big old tournament gets started, let's hope the referees do a good job. Let's hope both teams do a good job. Play hard. But I'm telling you right now, folks, the drama of one and done, and only one team survives the gauntlet, the athletic gauntlet, which is the NCAA tournament. And you know another thing about the NCAA tournament, which is remarkable? Everybody gets involved. You've got those pools at the office. You got people who don't know anything about basketball, filling out brackets, putting in their buck, pulling a name out of the hat, rooting. You go to any bar. By the way, that's another thing. Nothing fills up the sports bars more than the NCAA tournament. This is a boom to the economy across America. Whether it's Cincinnati or whether it's L.A. or New York or Boston, people are filling sports bars to cheer for their fans. All across northern Kentucky this weekend, bars are going to be packed with UK fans wearing their blue. There's going to be bars packed in Cincinnati, rooting for the Buckeyes, rooting for Xavier, rooting for the Bearcats. It is an incredible, incredible event that everybody gets to share on. And guess what? Isn't it awesome, too, which is also a metaphor of life, an example of life, is all of the Cinderella teams. There's always one, maybe two. Butler's had a monopoly on it 2 straight years. Can Butler do it again? Can Butler once again go as far as they have to the Final Four? But isn't that the way life is? See, despite all the power in the world, despite all those rich people and powerful people that you think are beating you down, which probably they are beating you down, there's always somebody with guts and determination and effort and skill survives it. And guess what? If you're not rooting for the front runner, see, I'm going to be rooting for the front runner because I'm a UK fan. But you know what, folks? Just like you, if your front-running team loses, you start rooting for the underdog. And if your team is not the front runner, you're rooting for the underdog. I find that amazing. I watched last week, again, for about the 20th time, the movie Seabiscuit. Oh, my God. You know what? The movie Seabiscuit, in my opinion, is one of the greatest movies of all time. The narration that took place, setting the context of Seabiscuit with the Depression and the stock market crash and how down America was. And here's this underdog horse that liked to sleep, liked to eat, was too small. Turns out to be a winner after being years as a loser. In a match race, beating the Triple Crown winner, War Admiral. Seabiscuit. There's going to be a Seabiscuit that comes out of this NCAA tournament. And another great, great movie from that time period. How about that movie about the boxer that was broke, Braddock. He was broke. He didn't have any money. The Cinderella story. That is an incredible story. A guy, he was too old to box, and he became the heavyweight champion of the world. That's what America's all about. America is all about thriving and thriving. And you know what does that? You know what makes it great? Is that you're allowed to do it, that you need to do it, that you must do it. We have, you knew it was coming, didn't you? We have a president of the United States whose political philosophy flies in the complete face of Seabiscuit. You know what? He would want Seabiscuit to have a head start. He would want Braddock to fight people with one arm tied behind his back. This president would want the little schools to be able to play 6 players at a time instead of 5 to make it even when they play UK. That's not the way life is, folks. What we have to do is I want you to do this. I want you to think about Seabiscuit and Braddock, and I want you to think about the Cinderella schools in the NCAA tournament. America is all about liberty. I say this, what's the first thing when you think about America? You think about freedom. Freedom, liberty, and opportunity. Not gifts, not automatic, not, hey, you can sit on your fat ass and not do anything and we're going to take care of you. It's about opportunity. It's about the fight. It's about the drive. By the way, folks, you don't think I get knocked down? Yesterday, I got knocked down. I took a body blow. Not the trial, just fighting with Kentucky Bar Council. I take body blows. And you know what I could do? I could quit. Or I could fight. Good luck to your team this weekend. Remember, every dog has their day. I hope your team has their day, unless you play Kentucky.
Tomorrow's day is Carmen's day. That's my niece. Happy birthday, Carmen. She's going to be 9. I love you. Stop hitting my head.
You'll be an oracle on Real Talk 1160.